Jungle Tips with Dragon. Originally I was planning to write this out, but then I said fuck it, let me just go ahead and make a video because people either don't like to read or think I'm an ass. This video will be about some jungle tips that I think every jungler needs to know for ranked. My biggest tip is to ward.
Nice job!
There have been many times where I've seen people call jungle in ranked, and then comes endgame and they have about 2 wards. And not one of them even ends up being a sentry.
Okay.
In my opinion, when you back, you need to buy a sentry almost every time. You can buy one item or finish an item, but you definitely should buy a sentry before you start that second item. By not warding, you let the enemy ward you out, which can result in less ganks, and that means less potential kills, and that means less gold. Here are some spots you can ward. For the most part, regardless on what side you are, they're mostly on the same areas, except for the 2 at the enemy's camps. Every other spot, if you can, there should be a sentry there, because 9 times out of 10 you'll find an enemy ward there that you can go ahead and kill. So sentries are highly recommended. And let's say you choose to ward the enemy's jungle camps. If you're warding there, you need to make it worth it, because you want to be able to take their jungle, get the timer, wait until the next time it's up, take it, keep the timer on it. Try to stay on that timer so you can steal it, force the other jungler to fall behind because you're taking their buff. If you're ahead, you should buy a sentry every time you back. Ward in one of the spots you think they're warding, and kill their ward. The reason for this is because they're already behind. Forcing them to buy sentries to counter you would be huge. I mean, yeah, sure, 135 gold doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're counter warding them repeatedly, they either decide no, they're not going to ward, or B, fall behind by a couple hundred gold. Regardless, it ends up being worth for you because you're ahead. I want to go back to talking about where I said if you invade their camp, keep a timer on it. The reason for that is junglers are by far the easiest to piss off. The reason being is because they get the most shit. They have to do a lot. They have to ward. They have to just be on point with everything, or else their team will bitch at them. So trying to take their jungle camps, you are more likely to put them on tilt. And if you put them on tilt, you know, piss them off, they're more likely to do worse, or they'll just try to focus on farm, which allows you to focus on ganking. My second tip is, if you're trying to gank someone and you know they see you, don't just hide behind the wall as if they're gonna just forget that you're there. I mean, sure, some bad players may push up anyways, but for the most part, they're just gonna chill about under tower because they already saw you. Go into lane, force them under tower, make them lose minion waves, make them lose some gold. Otherwise, all you're doing is standing in the jungle with your dick in your hand and not getting farm while the other jungler is, yeah, clearing camps or doing something more productive than hiding behind a wall, hoping that the enemy walks out. Alright, so this third tip is more of a general tip for anyone playing ranked. It's a lot difficult to follow up through because it's trust your team. It's ranked. I don't care if the guy you played with last game went 0-10. This is a new game and you need to trust your team unconditionally until they've proven that they can't follow up. And yes, sometimes this can lose a game, but more often it'll get you a kill. Not to mention showing your team that you trust them boosts morale, and it'll also let them trust you. So make a call when you're gonna gank and hope for the best. Also, when anyone hears a jungle say that they're gonna attack, if you have no mana or are on cooldowns or you're almost dead, please say it. When a jungler ganks, sometimes we can tunnel vision and we only see the potential kill, and we didn't even bother to look at you. So communication is key. Another general tip is if you hear a call, follow up on it, because you may not see what that person who made a call saw. It could be something small like 3 people in duo and 1 person just backed, or they have no wards on fire or gold. Questioning wastes time, and if you waste time, the enemies can figure out what you're planning to do. If they figure out what you're planning to do, then that good call turns into a horrible call because the team hesitated. Now, the only time I see this not really working out is if the people with Hog 3 say that they don't have Hog 3 up. And even then, if it's gold, you guys might be able to pull through with a fight. So it's still worth trying. This can also just go under trusting your team as well. And this last bit is just my own strong opinion. Junglers, get Hog 3, not Fist. I honestly I don't care what god you are. I don't care what team comp you have. Hog 3 is just infinitely better. Sure, you can get a kill with Fist, but it's already a win if you force somebody to back. With Hog 3, you can steal objectives, you can make calls to take objectives when your support isn't around. Objectives are huge in this game. Do you really want to put the weight of all that on your support alone? Or do you want to be safe and get a Hog 3 so you can actually do objectives without having to rely on them? And those are my tips for jungling and ranked. Tell me if you'd rather have a video or if you'd rather me write it out instead. Or tell me of a topic you'd like to hear me talk about.